Hi, it's Erica with Presence and Parenting. I'm answering your questions. I got a question about wanting to kind of run away from our kids sometimes. A lot of times, parents can feel like they are afraid of their own children. I think what's really happening is that you're afraid of yourself in those moments with your children. Your children sense this. So anytime that we're having this feeling, we really do have to take it away from kind of like practical parenting advice, and we do have to go a little bit deeper. What about this interaction is actually scaring you? What is it that you are afraid of? Where is the fear when it comes to these interactions with their children? A lot of times they're going to be around power and control. So if you grew up in a family where you did not feel like you had a lot of power, a lot of times this happens with very authoritarian parents, very dominating parents. It can transfer over into abusive families. Really what happens is that we grow up from children to being adults who are still kind of triggered by losing power and control. And when we're in an interaction with a child, and it feels like the child is so powerful and we are losing power and control over the situation, this starts to stimulate a lot of those feelings that we had when we were children, and we want to run away. We want to hide. We want to get away from the person who's taking the power and control away from us. In this particular instance, though, this is your child. So one of the ways that we can work with this dynamic that's happened in the relationships is one, for you to become aware of this. So really think about the question I asked before: what is it you really are afraid of? What is the fear? And also start thinking about, where did this come from? Once you start to make that conscious, you start thinking about it, you can then be in the present moment with your child, and all of this stuff from the past will not be coming into that moment with your child. There's a beeping happening outside, which is now alerting us to the fact that this is really important. The universe always gives us signals like this. It's really important for you to think about where it came from. Recognize this as a past feeling. This is something that's coming back to you. It's not what's happening right now in this situation with your child. Okay? Once you've done that and you've started that process, now all that unconscious stuff from the past becomes conscious. We actually can then be in the situation with your child, in a situation as a parent. And now you can be fully well knowing that you are in control of this situation. Is your child trying to be powerful? Yes. Is your child trying to see if they can control you, especially if this has been a dynamic that's been happening in your family for a while? You bet, because we've taught them how to do this. So what you need to do is to start feeling like you actually are in your power. You set the framework for what's happening in this instance. There wasn't actually a example that came with this question. So let's say we can't make a child, get up and leave the house unless we're actually going to pick them up. So this is a very powerful situation for a child, especially if we're running late. We need to get them to school. We need to get to work. This is a very common example I'm now using. We can actually pick them up and put them in the car. Take back your power. Don't be held hostage by your child. It actually does not serve them for them to feel like they're the one running the show. That actually can be very scary for a child. Even though it seems like they always want to be in control, they're always trying to control me. Parents use the word manipulate a lot. They're just trying to manipulate me. It's not with an intention of messing with you. They love you. You're their favorite person in the entire universe. What they're doing is trying to figure out what's happening in this relationship, what's happening in this dynamic. So yes, they are trying to get power and control, but they won't get it over you. They won't be taking it away from you unless you let them. So 1, figure out where the fear is coming from. 2, work with that fear. Make it conscious so it does not come into the present moment with your child. And 3, own your power in these interactions with your child, and the dynamics and what's happening is going to start to shift. All right, I hope we shed some light on the beginning part of this question, because this is a really good one, and I think we are going to be talking about this a lot. So take back your power. Keep asking me questions. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to see when I post new videos. You can find me on Facebook. Ask me more questions, and we'll keep the conversation going. All right, I hope that this helped you with your family, and I will see you later.